Hi, this is Jean Bedord. Today I'm going to talk about news and business databases, yet another type of information widely used by information professionals. We'll be using LexisNexis, another commercial search engine, to learn how to search full-text databases. Now that you've explored the deep web, let's return to commercial aggregators. As you have discovered, many sources are available for free on the open web. But you have to discover the sources one by one and evaluate them. An aggregator provides value by providing search across thousands of sources in a single search using consistent indexing. Searches can be repeated with the same results, unlike the open web, which changes from day to day. And in the business world, saving time is well worth the cost of using a professional search service. News comes from many sources. We're all familiar with newspapers, though they've become less important over the years as news has become more real-time, rather than daily or weekly news. Wire services were pioneered by Reuters in 1851. Yes, over 150 years ago. If you look at the sources on the web today, as well as the bylines in newspapers, you'll often see a newswire as the source. Then as news sources, blogs have become quite ubiquitous, but the first blog was created just 20 years ago. News is also audio and video, which are not searchable, but their transcripts are searchable text. You'll find that trade publications usually have a section called In the News or something similar. Then there are the reams of information generated by our government and legal systems, with decisions and actions that affect our lives. Trying to find relevant information in the sea of text can be challenging. What's different about searching news? Compared to the bibliographic information you searched in ProQuest Dialog and Web of Science, news is much more current. The traditional publishing cycle is months and years. In contrast, in today's world, news can be real-time with smartphones posting information as it happens. News articles are quite free-form, with minimal fields, usually a headline, body, perhaps a reporter byline, a location, and a timestamp. So aggregators with news content have to provide their own indexing. Another characteristic is that these full-text databases have everything from short articles to lengthy documents. By limiting searches to the introductory paragraph, you utilize the structure of a news document to improve the odds of retrieving relevant articles. Searching large numbers of unformatted full-text documents is difficult, because there are so few fields. So LexisNexis developed their proprietary smart indexing system to add indexing to each record. In addition to subject indexing, a major component of smart indexing is business information, specifically extraction of company names and people names, as well as industry and geography. These are similar to the subject headings found in ABIN form, which you used in earlier exercises. However, in LexisNexis, smart indexing is applied to every single document, rather than database by database, as found on ProQuest Dialog. As you would suspect from the arrangement of the tabs, searching for company information is a major activity on LexisNexis. One of the challenges for business researchers is the sheer amount of information available for large publicly traded companies. They are required to file reports with the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, and are followed by investment analysts. On the other hand, private companies can be quite secretive and almost invisible, providing limited information via their website or other trade publications. Buried inside the reams of full-text information, there are some hidden gems. These are the reports on a wide range of topics, and you'll find them under the tab labeled Market Insights on LexisNexis. These range from investment analyst reports to market research and industry publications. There are also country reports, including risk assessment. These can be lengthy documents with multiple sections or short reports on a specific area. The best way to find these is to narrow your search to industry and/or country. Be aware that industry definitions are variable. LexisNexis has its list of industries, but these are not necessarily the same industry classification used by publishers. Think about something like the Apple iPad. Is it electronics? Or is it computers and technology? Or is it retail? Depends on the report. At the beginning of this semester, I mentioned that professional search engines developed independently of each other. While search engines have the same basic functionality, they use different terminology. So as you are browsing the LexisNexis documentation, translate the terminology to the functions you've already learned. This slide provides a summary of the terminology used by LexisNexis versus the scientific search engines you've used previously. The most obvious difference is that fields are called segments and logical operators are called connectors. Also, as you explore LexisNexis, keep in mind that it aggregates full-text sources rather than databases with abstracts. Because full text has minimal indexing, searchers have to rely on other techniques to find relevant documents. When you were using previous search engines, searching all sources was not particularly problematic. However, in full-text databases, searching all sources retrieves a huge number of irrelevant results, similar to an open web search. So filtering by source and date becomes important. You've used the technique of limiting searches to the title and abstract fields, but in full-text databases, you use the lead paragraph instead. This is based on journalistic writing style, which gives the what, where, when, and why in the first paragraph. Proximity operators may not have made much sense to you in the bibliographic databases, but they're quite useful for full text. The default is proximity in the same document, but in a long document this can result in false positives. So using proximity operators within a paragraph ensures more relevant documents. On LexisNexis, you can even specify word proximity in the same sentence if needed. An additional technique to reduce the number of irrelevant records is to search for multiple occurrences of your search term. If the phrase Hillary Clinton occurs 5 times, chances are the article is about her, rather than an incidental mention in an article about campaign financing, which contains the phrase, a politician like Hillary Clinton. Now it's time to move on to exploring the world of news and business databases on LexisNexis. You'll be using the same strategies you've learned from the search engines earlier this semester. Let's go searching.